I got 14 out of 100. I really remember this because I got a paper and I just cried. I was like, oh my god, I'm not getting into college. And I wish someone told me that that's just not true. Hi, I'm Emily. I'm a junior at Yale College. I applied to Yale College as an international student, which we all know makes it significantly harder to get in. I'm going to show you exactly how you can get into top colleges even with bad grades based on my personal story as well as my experiences working in college admissions consulting. So I did CIE A-levels in high school and I took 4 subjects. I got 3 A's and 1 C, and that C was actually in math. Before that I was getting E's and D's. I think I even got 1 F. I got 14 out of 100. I really remember this. I also took the SAT. So I got 700 for reading and writing and I got 760 for the math section. So I can see my grades weren't the greatest. I had that C in math from high school and the D's and E's and F's before that. And my SAT was less than 1500, which is kind of like the quote-unquote recommended range. I only had a 1460, so that's way below that. To use your bad grades to your advantage. Now I know that sounds counterintuitive, but let me explain what I mean. So think of college admissions as like a triangle. So there's 3 points. Number 1 is the essays, the interviews, basically more personality driven parts of the application. And on the other end, you have your academics. So that's like your SAT grades, your school grades, and then at the end you have your extracurriculars, everything you do outside of school. I'm going to share how I use all 3 points to my advantage when I was applying for college and how you can do the same. It's the perfect opportunity to explain your bad grades. So for example, in the short answers from UNUS, one of the questions was, what challenges you? So I wrote, numbers make my mind go fuzzy. I have to put in twice the effort for math, but I relish the challenge and small victories. It's helped build my resilience. So see what I did there? I used me being bad at math to showcase how I'm a resilient person, which is a positive quality that colleges are always looking out for. And same thing as well in my interview. One of the questions was, tell me more about how you embody the spirit of learning. Again, I took this as an opportunity to talk about math and how, oh, I am so bad at math. I kept pushing because I wanted to get good at something that I wasn't good at. And that's why I'm a really resilient person. And to me, that's the spirit of learning, really challenging yourself to do things out of your comfort zone. And I could tell my interviewer really appreciated that, and I got in. So use your essays, your interviews, the short answers to really build a solid story, explaining your bad grades, and flip the narrative away from it being a bad thing to a positive one. If you're bad grades because studying is really just not your thing, you have to make it up with the extracurricular activities. Not to say you have to go and cure cancer or become like an Olympic athlete. I was none of those things. But ultimately, your extracurricular activities, that list of 10 things, has to really reflect who you are, what you care about, what are you passionate about, what do you spend your time doing, what keeps you up at night. In my own application, I knew I would have to balance out that bad grade in math with my extracurricular activities, so I really doubled down and spent a lot of time building up a good list of activities in leadership, in community service. My themes were education, community service, and gender issues, and almost all of my 10 activities were within that area. A good test to evaluate your extracurricular profile is to write down your list of 10 activities and write down up to 3 themes about yourself. And then what you're going to do is match the activity to the theme and see which individual activity falls under which theme. So for example, like how many education-related activities you have, how many community service-related activities you have, and then just keep matching from like 1 to 10. And if you can match all the themes to your activities, great. You have a very clear story of what is happening with your extracurriculars. If you can't do that, now you know where you need to start with working on your extracurricular activities. So maybe you have like 3 themes and one of the themes is in computer science, but then you realize you don't have that many strong computer science activities or you don't have any at all. Well, it's time to start getting in some good computer science activities. Or you might go through your activities and discover a new theme that you didn't realize was there. The main 2 parts for academics are your school grades and standardized testing. So if you have bad grades in school, you want to balance it out with better grades in standardized testing. So in my case, I had that C in math. I really need to do well for the SAT math section. So I really just spent so much time doing all those practice papers, really focusing on the math. And I got 760, which is an okay score. I even did better than reading and writing because I put in so much effort. It was okay because my 3As from school were for more reading and writing related subjects. So it all balanced out. So I had a bad math grade in school, a good one for the SAT, an okay reading writing grade in the SAT, but a good one for my reading writing related subjects in school. Really was so scared that my grades weren't good enough, to the point where I even self-selected myself out of applying for Yale, which was my ultimate dream school at the time. I didn't even apply. And if you're in the same boat as me, your grades aren't perfect, I want you to know that that's okay, and it's actually an asset that adds to your unique story. Ultimately, colleges want to accept a diverse range of people, and if they accepted everyone with perfect grades, all A's for their entire lives, they wouldn't be a really diverse bunch of people. So people with perfect grades get rejected. People with bad grades also have a chance of getting accepted. Don't make the same mistake I did and not apply to your dream school just because you think your grades are not good enough. It's always worth a shot to just try, and you never know. The worst thing is that you try and you don't get in. But the best thing that could happen is you could try and you could get in. I truly think that my bad grades were an asset in my college application and one of the reasons I got in. And yes, I didn't succeed in the end with getting an A for math. That whole journey of me going from failing absolutely to getting an E, D, and then finally to that C that I had when I was applying for college. Ultimately, that's what is really memorable to a college admissions officer. Your unique story of who you are, what challenges you've overcome, what is the journey you had to get there, and that's what's going to get you into your dream school.